Today we're going to go over rolling over the head. We're going to do flying back takes where one of you's in a wheelchair out here.
And then not.
And then not.
And then not.
This is called the payday move. All right, so some of you, we're not doing the over the shoulder back take thing that Leo Vieira made famous that the guy broke his neck. That was a tragic accident. We won't spend a lot of time on it. But we do have a situation where a person's in turtle. And what's a good way of getting them out of turtle? Well, we're gonna go over that today. It will involve rolling, but you'll see it may look dynamic, but it's super simple, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on crucifix setups, okay? If you don't know what a crucifix is, you'll see in a minute. So we're here. What you should never do with a person's in turtle, just one quick note, is you don't want to dig your arm too deep underneath here where they can just grab your wrist like he is, or reach back with his arm and trap your elbow. Once they do that, all he has to do is just roll to his side, and I can't get my arm out and I'm done. Now he's coming up, right? You never want to sit back here with your knee between their feet like such, because if he goes to roll over his left shoulder and reach underneath at the same time, he grabs my leg and boom, here I'm getting knee bar and then turn into the legs. So what do? Angles are always a good thing to have. So having angles, so if you're gonna come back, you can get here, I'm on his hip. When you're using, whether you don't know what you wanna do or you do know what you wanna do, you always wanna put pressure on the person. If I sit here like this, Matt's not got any pressure on him. He's got opportunities to move, scramble, and attack me. But if I come at an angle, and in this angle I got my chest here, and I'm kind of just letting my body weight lay on him. Notice I'm not on my knee, I'm kind of up. I can even let this leg float. He has to post this arm out or he falls. So right now he's in a very open turtle position. Look at this, open space. What would you do in turtle, Matt, if you were really like trying to defend yourself? Notice how he tucked everything in, right? Some guys can get so compressed that there's no space. There's still a little gap here. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna set up this crucifix. We're gonna take our knee as closest to him. We're gonna put it in this gap. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide it forward as far as we can. So here, boom, I pop up, I shoot this knee in and I slide it forward. Notice it came up next to his face. Now my knee is poking out here. And I can't just allow him to sit here without some kind of control. I'm gonna reach under here, I'm gonna grab his wrist if I can. If I can grab his wrist, or if I can grab here, one or the other. Right there, it'll be fine. If I can reach underneath and grab his wrist, and then I pull it to his chest, or maybe point it down towards his hips, gets it out of the way, he can't reach up and fight what's about to happen. Next thing I'm gonna do, and this is gonna require you to have some coordination. Go slow when you're trying this out, because I'm gonna bring my heel up, touch my knee. And when I do that, I'm gonna start to lean and peel his arm back, like such, okay? You see where we're going with this. You can stay in this position, if you like. To finish an arm bar, you would simply start to stretch that out, and then you would eventually foot up. You'll feel his elbow, I feel it between my thighs right here, which I can scoot a little more and it puts it just about in front of my hips, and then I would just start to drop and you get the tap. Be careful with this, that you don't do one of these numbers, move your arm, that you don't get here and then sprawl out. That's gonna put their handshaking ability at a minimum. Their arm's gonna get jacked up, okay? Anytime, a rule to remember, anytime that you're working with the pull of gravity, but that goes against somebody's joint, meaning pushing it in the opposite direction of what it's meant to go, be careful in training. If you're in a fight, tournament, where it's go, 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 win at all costs, well, the other person signed it and you go out there and do it. I'm not encouraging you to hurt people, but definitely in here with your training partners, be very cautious of how much energy you're expending and which way gravity's going. And does this person know to tap before they've already reached the extent of their ability to defend themselves? If my arm starts to hurt here and I feel it getting to this point, I don't have a grip and I have no defense and no way out, I should already be tapping before it hurts. That comes, ego plays into that. If you wait till it's already hurting and then tap, and then you realize it's really hurting, it's not your training partner's fault, it's your fault. You should have tapped earlier, okay? And please, for goodness sakes, don't relax and then tap. I see people do that. They fight. Pop, tap, oh my God, you terrible person. No, you relax. Don't relax. Keep your defense, what little bit you have. Flex that bicep, and then you feel this here. Tap. Touching them is great. It lets them know. Back to this. We're here. Boom. Matt's all balled up. My space is here. I'm gonna push a little bit on him at an angle. He has to open up, slide this knee forward, grabbing the wrist. Heel to knee. And I'm gonna peel it as I turn my hips. Now I have it locked. There's different ways you can work your feet, whether your legs are long, and you can put your foot on foot, foot on ankle, crisscross them, whatever. Sometimes you don't need any of that, as long as you're bringing some pressure here. Then you have this hook. Now guys, from here, what's a good thing we could do? We have an extra arm. We start going underneath and motivating him to move, or we go for the submission. Let's say Matt is here, and I not necessarily want to go for that just yet. Here's what I'm gonna do. Matt's here. I'm not gonna push his head this way. I'm just gonna sit, I'm gonna go like this, my hands out. I'm gonna look over the same way his arm's going. And then with this arm down, I'm just gonna roll. From this position, the arm bar is still doable, but I like to come in here and start attacking this neck. If I want to do the arm bar, I simply put this foot to the mat and start walking it out. Notice the direction of his hand. His thumb is up. So moving this backwards and out is going to create the arm bar, but we bring our foot to the floor. My leg is out here. What's between my heel and my knee? A lot of space. He can just turn his arm and get his arm out, right? You try to get this out of here, right? I've got you hooked in here. You can't move your shoulders. How would you get your, if this space was here, you could just turn your elbow, your thumb down, right? And then, yeah, right? So I keep the pressure here, but if I put my foot on the floor, now do that, it's more difficult. Not undoable, but more difficult. Then if I just start walking my foot back, apply a little hip pressure when you need to, it's there, right? So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna give our partners, do a turtle. We're gonna set this up, and I want you to work on that one arm bar, work on getting that hook underneath the neck, holding that grip. Then when you're ready, we're gonna try to do the roll. Now, notice I stopped attacking his neck and pushing his neck that way before the roll. Why? Because if his head's turned this way, and I go to roll over that way, it sets up a situation where his neck is in danger, yeah? Here, and I'm here. If I push his head that way and I try to roll that way, we might be able to do it, but that's a risk on his neck, right? If you're concerned with his neck looking that way and you just are so determined you're gonna do this roll, it's a thing that you're gonna do. Bring your hand over, grab, and then roll. And notice I pushed off with my foot. I didn't just let my whole body weight sag on his shoulders. I used momentum of my own to make the roll happen. And we're rolling, where were we? We were just right there, and we rolled laterally, not over the head, this way. And now we're here. I can go here, I got my legs, I can start messing with his arm, or I can just start coming up here and going for chokes. Any questions? Work the first part, work the submissions. If you don't feel comfortable rolling, don't roll. On three. 1, 2, 3.
Do it me one time.
Working at those legs. So make sure you apply pressure to them, lean in on them, make them open up. So bring your heel, bring your heel. So have that foot, so go ahead, go back one step. Have that foot out. Plant your foot on the ground. Yeah, see how you can now, you can like apply Yeah, see how you open him up a little bit? Now move your heel to your knee. Now start peeling that, and you're going to turn your hips facing me. Yeah, see how you just did that? Nice. Now from here you have that pressure. You can slide your body back a little bit and start sprawling your hips down.
And grab the same
Hey guys, in this situation, you want to say tap with the tap, because if they can't feel it, you can say it and they can hear it. So what you're doing, you can get his toe to your thing. Look back towards me. Is he looking back towards me? So you should be able to just roll that way. So take your foot that's not pushing his arm and push off your hip. Nice and easy. Okay. Now you can stay here and here. Put this foot on the ground. All you gotta do is keep this foot on the ground. Start walking it towards me like we're outward. The other foot, you don't have to really. Take your right foot out. Foot on the ground. Now left foot on the ground. Head. Yeah, go slow when you're hitting, because it's here and you're just doing it. Did she drive her hips forward? Yeah. It was just position, right? So the position is so awesome that you get there. If you need to, and they're super flexible, and they're just like depending on how you start. Right. This gets peeled back. Okay. It's the shoulder. Try to like
look at my tongue this way.
Okay. Also, in that one, you can start working that choke.
Look, if you drop down, look at hips now, you get where you
look back at me, Matt. Are you doing the roll or?
No, I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. Never mind.
But I do want to know, when I got this arm track,
Yeah.
are you taking that foot and putting it over his wrist like this?
Not necessarily. You don't have to. I like to slide down a little bit. So keep that.
How do you keep it closest to the head?
Slide my hips down. So drop your hips in, nice and easy. Slide your left leg back. Keep pressure with your left leg. So your left leg's gonna stay. So your left foot comes up off the mat. See how you straighten his arm out? Now start to walk your knees back, and then slowly let your hips sink to the mat. Hips first to the mat. Let your hips come to the mat first. Bring your feet up off the mat. So you're looking like this. It's awkward feeling. You're like this. Boom. Here, and you're gonna imagine his arm is trapped by this leg.
And so this arm really, like, you think you can get to slip it out, like you can't. Like if you move it.
Pressure on it.
Yeah, I feel like I know what I'm doing.
You didn't see it. And I'm forgetting Matt is demonstrating that. He didn't see it. So we're here. Boom. I'm putting pressure on him. If I can get this wrist, that's cool. I'll come in here. Knee comes up by his head. Right? If my foot's out here, he reaches for my foot. So great. Do that. But if not, I come here. I peel it. Notice my hips turn towards him. This foot stays. Foot stays up.
That guy, that's a bicep slicer there. That's the same thing as the calf slicer. That I do for calf. It's the same leg setup, right? It's keeping. I kept that crucifix.
Because if I don't, then he just moves around, which is fine. Because guess what? He grabs that, then I'm good. He's looking this way. I can look back this way.
Yeah.
In this choke.
And when you roll, you're here. He's looking back, you're looking back, you keep this one. This one that's chilling comes up, and you just turn your hips. Are you already trapped? Okay, never mind. She's back. We're gonna go over that in a second, but go ahead. So here's what you're gonna do. See how you lean in on her?
Now.
That's kind of how you're walking another way.
Again,
bring your right leg second.
So see your left leg down on my arm some more, and then bring your right leg on the top.
Talk about different.
And out. Hips knees out. Knees, take your knees to the opposite direction.
Oh, this way.
Yep, split. Yeah.
Keep that knee on the ground and lift that foot high in the sky. Yep, that's good. Knee on the ground. Knee on the ground.
And then back to the
Foot up, and take your right leg and stretch it out.
Staying flat.
What you have under her armpit, go straight out, straight back.
Hips up.
Nope. Now start bringing that foot up. Keep them pinched. Your knees pinched. This one's here. Now start to slowly get down.
Legs against arms, my friend.
Yes. Feel that pressure that belt. It's an awkward motion. You're like this. Really, you're fucking here.
I feel like I'm already cooking on. I can't really stupid like y'all.
So her head there, she's looking up.
Just get to a point where it's like, yeah, it feels fine.
No, that's fine. Don't let that leg go. Keep it there. So the more you walk towards your butt, the tighter it is on vertical on a tongue. So then as you walk back this way, you walk straight out. Straighten that leg out, but
And so I'm going to say real quick, order of operations, they need the arms then the foot.
got it. Walk them both arms second.
Yeah, because if I get too, look at it this way, go back to here.
So you got it. You're thinking people are super flexible.
Because I still have all this free, I can
It's
turn.
there. You just have to grab this whistle.
On the second step, then I can't turn into you anymore. And try to see your back legs or anything. His legs, his arms locked down. I feel
Now you have to straighten down with with the legs, it's not very easy.
And sometimes you can do
It's not something you just go
first knee and the first hand are both
So here's the first one. Pinch it together so you can pinch your legs.
My shoulder was kind of like shoulder pressure on the elbow, and here's the other shoulder.
Got that grip thing right under her chin. But you're gonna touch it. Yes. Now, what you just did, you straighten her arm out, and she can't do this. See how she got it out? Now,
this leg over my face.
Here, right? Now starts to straighten her leg. Here's another trick. Go back.
Guys, my son.
There's an arm bar there.
Here, hold that. Now,
That's that one
stop.
where you just lock the upper
Now,
body.
you can take your other foot and cross it
Like
over.
it's not a full triangle.
It's not going to be, it's going to kind of lock up in here.
Right.
See how you found that leverage? Because her arms.
I'm
here, I see it, so
anticipating
I'm like,
this thing.
Now, keeping pressure on
So I'm going to
the
lock it, but I'm not like 100%. Like I'm 80. I'm going to give it a little bit of space because I want them to turn.
change the
Their turn is going to make me lock it.
turn her head away. So she went from here. He was saying, "Oh, good." To, oh no. So that's right. It's just, but I don't like to encourage people.
I'm not locking it all the way.
Right.
So that way, in the event you decide to move,
It works.
it might help.
Yes, that'd be all day.
Right. And so if you decide like this, yeah, that's more. And so it's another if you start to push on that foot or not. If you do push on that foot, you're like trying to get this on.
Right. So especially with someone who's on.
So if I turn the one way,
But you're gonna have some guys that can switch their hips real quick.
You get hurt.
Mostly from here in a triangle, they can do this while stuck in this triangle. And as they go to move, you adjust your lock. Okay. Lock, you just let them slide in the lock to where it's more appropriate for regular triangles or something, right?
So just gently
But for me, I found he's great at it. I can drop your hip in, but if it's on the side up here or something like that, I find it I have to wait for them to turn.
It's weird. It's very hard.
Just turn.
That's good. Don't feel bad about feeling
Again, that's me.
Go slow. Go nice and controlled. Let it kind of slide in. It's one of those submissions where it's not like you can do it fast.
Well, I feel like if you put that pressure up on that shoulder, instantly your arm just you feel that guy's arm back there, you're like,
Yeah, for sure. But see, it's weird because
we have an arm bar?
you feel like you don't have a lot of control with your legs.
extend that.
But you have a lot of control. Just
As I
was telling him, I was like,
I can come up
pinching your
here.
knees and controlling something with your legs. I'm nowhere near the level I love to be, but I have more practice at it. So I'm used to being able to like feed the legs, grab an arm, and being able without looking at it, kind of balance my body in on the act. When we were rolling, I thought, see, I could feel that elbow between my legs here, so I know I'm close to my hips, which is the focal point. So I can kind of go slow and gauge it. You definitely don't want to do this kind of thing with somebody who's real spazzy, who wants to be like, because then that's, yeah.
Dylan guy that put the video. So
That's the guy you want to put this on and go super slow. And as he's trying, you can kind of work your control. It's not because you want to win, it's when your own control is super fast, freaked out. When you can do that, you're good, right? Because then you're like, oh, he's all over the place, but guess what? All right, guys, let's circle up real quick.
okay. Okay, now it makes sense.
Come here, CJ. Come here, CJ. So, in certain situations, guys, especially when you're dealing with techniques that require a lot of precision and a lot of movement of your legs and your ability to use your legs to create an arm bar and certain submissions. If you're not used to doing that, guess what? You're gonna feel like a fish out of water. Your legs just don't feel as though you have the submission or whatever the case is. So this is where you have these training partners who are flexible and who are able to withstand those certain types of angles. You have to find a new angle to get that arm work, right? These are good training partners to have because like I was saying to this team, I'm like, hey, if you can submit somebody with this who's super flexible, the majority of the people you're rolling with is gonna be easy for you, right? So we're gonna go back to here. We're here with CJ, and he's down here like this, which is fine. If he wants his arms to be out, I can start going for his neck. Is he gonna leave his arms out there? We don't know. Oh, he decided to come in here. Now CJ's window here is very small here for me to get my knee in, but I have to get my knee in. A couple things you can do. One is you can drive in. Worst case scenario, CJ gives into this and he rolls, and we come into side control, right? And guys, if you set up for this move, don't feel bad if it doesn't happen. If they react a certain way, you go for it, get that good dot position, work from there. But if CJ resists and he puts that pressure back at, oh, he has to put pressure here to brace, which will sometimes, and a lot of times, open up an opportunity. You only need a small amount of space. So if CJ's here, right, I can press in on him, boom. I like to put my hand here, that way I'm not too deep just yet. If I want to and I can get that wrist, cool. I come in, I put it in that gap in his hip, and I let it slide forward, and I kind of walk it up. Heel to knee, peel it, turn it, he's looking away, I'm looking away. Let's roll, boom, we're here. I like to take this foot, and if it's a person I know is flexible, and look how he has his elbow bent. CJ's natural reaction is keep a bend in my elbow. I don't want to get arm barred. So I take this foot, and I don't try to straighten it. I simply put my foot on the ground. That made the leverage. Look at this. This leg, watch his arm, leverage, right? Pinching my knees, I'm here. He's still got that bend. How can I straighten his arm out? I'm gonna turn his head away. Now I'm gonna straighten it out. I'm pinching my knees because in this scenario, guys, I can feel that his elbow is pointing that way and his hand is going that way, right? I've got to get him more like this or create the fulcrum as such. Oh, I feel his hand turning, boom. Notice I went here. When I felt his hand turn and touch my calf, I brought that back together, pinch those knees together. I can even come here and cross. At this point, I haven't even begun to use my hips. So then I can start, yes, you get a reaction. When they start moving, that happens. I can continue to make this angle. He'll move. I can attack his neck. CJ's flexible. When I put my foot on the ground, it was almost there, right? On the way. Him, I put my foot on the ground, he's still deep, he's turning. I turned his head away. When he's here, he can keep this, but when you turn that head, it makes it easier to move that. The demonstration is you have to find the angle. So here's a few things you can do. Turn. Stay on by that. My child. I was like, where are we going with this? Back to this position. Oh, so we're here. Slow. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so we're here, guys. He's down a little bit here. It's okay. We're gonna pinch our knees. We're gonna turn into him a little bit, and we're gonna scoot closer. Get him up here. Why reach? We're here. I'm gonna come across his neck. I'm gonna apply some pressure here. Guess what? I'm also working with my legs. I'm gonna start stretching this out. I'm gonna cross my ankles. I can start angling a little bit here. Coming up. Oh, there's his elbow. Oh, now we're gonna get that leverage. We're here. He's arching his back and his hips up because he's relieving pressure, right? So I'm here. Now I can kind of apply a little bit, turn. But guess what? If I keep turning, is that gonna let him out? Is it not? I don't know. Watch what I do. Cross my ankle. Then I can keep dropping this breaking leg. I can keep breaking it down. This one now goes from here in my way, not in my way. But guess what? My legs are still pinched. No space here. If you want to keep your foot on your ankle, you can. If you're flexible, I'm not. This works for me. Now I have not even begun to lift my hips. Yeah. There you go. Okay? So, finding that spot is something that you should do. Do it in the controlled drilling environment. Trying to figure out where to go with it, where to go with it. These flexible partners who are very dexterous and their arms are all over the place. Great, get them, grab them, go with that. Try to get used to it. It's not so much you're trying to beat this guy. You're trying to figure out how to maneuver yourself, how to feel that arm, and where's that elbow, what's going on here. And you're basically teaching your legs how to work independently of your upper body. That's one of the things, when you can do that in jiu-jitsu, not just specifically to the crucifix, but if you can do that in jiu-jitsu, you become so much more dangerous. Because when you can let your legs move independently, your mind just kind of lets your legs are moving, doing things as you glance, and then you're doing other stuff, your partner's worried about your entire body, not just your two arms trying to choke, okay? So to go back to the beginning of that, if you want to practice on finishing that arm bar, but let's talk about some ways to get into this gap. Putting your knee here in this hip spot and allowing your knee to drive forward as you apply pressure. Also, if you come in here, boom, and I can get his wrist, I can also walk my hand here to open his head up a little bit. This will be a good distraction. Yeah, see how it opens up? Boom, this slides in, sliding forward. You need to use your hand, use your hand. There is a scenario where some people, if I put my foot out here, will reach and grab my foot. I'm not sure if that's a wrestling thing, but I know it's a good thing for me. So if CJ comes up and grabs that double grip like that, I don't let him turn his hips around and drive me forward to knock me down. Yeah, like that. In that scenario, we're here, I would most likely just roll. Because now, I've got good ability to break that grip and keep my position. If I feel him slipping away from me, I can chase him, but I would most likely come here. Because once I hook this and I start threatening, he can't scoot down again. Yeah. Now I can scoot underneath, get a little closer. If I start applying this pressure here, making it dangerous, he starts moving. Now I start messing with that arm. CJ walks his body towards his arm. Oh no. Yeah, walks towards that arm. There we go, he's getting out. He's getting out. Oh, I turned. The whole time I'm sitting there, I'm balancing between going for the arm and going for the neck. Eventually towards that end, he was turning. He was actually walking towards his arm, taking some of the pressure off. I start cranking on that neck a little more. To finish that, you put your arm on the shoulder, swing your elbow back. And it's a triple threat. And if at any point, there's an opportunity there for you to swim this, now you can start working on this arm bar. Wrist lock, reverse Kimuras, all kind of stuff, shoulder-y things, all that. Triangle even. There's opportunities everywhere. On three, we're gonna get with our partners. I want you to open up that spot to get your knee in, and then once you roll, play with that arm bar a little bit, or whatever position, whatever it is that you guys feel that you need to really work on, or you want to really hone that skill, give it a shot. On three. 1, 2, 3. CJ, come back. When you're putting your knee in, angle it more towards me. Like it's so you put it right next to his face. Get real tight, TK. Get him all the way back. Get real tight. Good. So come back all the way up. TK, get your elbow in. Like I'm talking like yeah. Yeah. So sit up all the way back. Put your knee here and lift your foot off the ground. And as you're leaning into him with this foot out, and you're kind of leaning on it, because this is where he's facing and he's not letting you come in. Just let that knee glide in there. Yeah, bring it next to his face. You want it next to his chin. There you go. Boom. Now that grab is easy. Nice. Which one was it? The arm or the choke? Oh, the arm? Yeah. It looks like a choke to me. It looks like you were getting the choke. Nice.
That's what I was used to, pull it back right on the beat.
Yeah, so you see, balancing it back and forth. What can I use to? Under his chin. And then scoot your hips in underneath him. Nice. Now, Careful when you bring your other leg to get on that wrist.
Yep.
Because it's already almost there.
I felt like I wasn't putting
It didn't take a lot. You had to get, you had me live. You had me live.
Give him some feedback. Guys, if your arm is feeling tight, we're drilling. Tell your partner, hey, it's tight, man. Keep going though.
It was light, it was light, not tight.
It was tight.
Light.
So let's say she's straightening her arm out, get in the way. That scissors. That one you're not going to really get on the ball. I'm standing because your other leg is underneath their head. This is do that scissor. People do it.
potential biceps slicer there.
But triangle, or left. Because if you're there, let's say you got that position.
Yeah.
Where you push your head.
Well, and that's the.
That arm bar in front of the face.
Now your left leg across the head.
Yeah. So I think once it
Across.
What did I do?
This triangle right here. This one. Two knees right here.
Yes.
Yeah. She's tap. There you go. It's joking. So be careful with it because you're in a triangle that has more shoulder. So be careful when you're coming out this way. Because you're here, right?
Hand that on.
And as you start,
You don't want to roll over like that.
but
You're right. By time you're swinging the leg. So you want just enough so that way you can speak.
always
But not like you're that thing. Very cautious. So I think
I was going to start turning their face and you should bend down the elbow. What I just did was putting my free foot on their wrist.
I started turning it that way, then. You should start. But I feel like with us bigger guys, they're so broader, we're not flexible.
Yeah.
see how you do it. Work it. Reach around that neck. Underneath and around. Start going back. This way. Go for like that choke. You could grab his neck like that, but go for that choke.
Because once the arm's extended, if I have enough bridge up here, I'm relieving this. Whenever you put that choke back on, you're pulling that bridge up.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. You're just leaving that, and you're also straightening that arm if you're pulling towards you. So set up that grip first. You got the grip. Get around the head because you already got the arm. Then start to straighten it. And if you're trying to straighten it like this, and this leg gets in the way, simply move that leg over, and you can keep going.
Okay. All right. You guys good?
Turn your head, Matt. There you go.
I do not want to elevate.
There you go. Now, reach underneath that chin, bring it to the shoulder, straighten your legs out, start working your legs, but keep pressure on the neck. Now, if your leg won't go anymore, your right leg, take your left leg and step over it. No, just there you go. Now you can take your right leg and you can start walking towards me. The left leg stays planted, right leg starts coming towards me. And lift your hip up. Yeah. Notice he's moving. Yeah. Keep walking it.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I think you did go that way.
Pinch those knees. Nice. Flexible dude. He is. He is.
Right, your left arm. Get that choke down, get this bridge up.
There you go. He's defending. So there you go. And that bridge up. Did you feel his elbow right here?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you like open your
You can
arms.
apply a little pressure. When you feel the elbow, you can adjust it by simply just kind of
kept noticing that we
making a small adjustment to those legs.
grabbing that arm
So
is
this
like
one will come down and that one will come in.
Honestly,
It feels like a big ball.
It is. And that's
It
it is. I don't show it. I don't show it because
every time
it's a small target. And if you're not very dexterous with your feet, it's going to get people trying to go for it. They're going to miss every time. Try it twice. That's stupid. This is more high percentage. Hold it.
first thing you gotta
But
do.
absolutely, that is one of the things, and I'll use that. I'll like, okay, because you already, you were
At least for the moment.
90-95% there,
Happening fast.
and that foot on the egg is just you added an extra 15%.
okay, now I got mine.
Put that leg all the way back. Put that right leg goes all the
Oh,
way
yeah,
back.
yeah, I'm getting there. I'm just
Oh, okay.
walking through it here for a
Oh,
second.
gotcha.
In my own mind.
Uh-huh.
but now I got my finger here.
Look back.
Now,
Look back. Look forward. Look at William. And then roll.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Place it in there.
That's good. Here. That's like you got an iron pipe right on my arm.
What's the name of the day? Oh no.
Ethan, what did you say about my shins the other day?
So put this one flat on the mat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's, I was like, what are you shopping these with? Or like, what have you been doing with these? Or something like that.
Start to hip up a little bit.
It's like a,
You were there. You felt the tension.
it's like Wolverine going adamantium machine.
Ribs. It's just you.
You too?
I woke up this morning, I was like,
Moving around any?
this one, yesterday I was, someone had me like,
Last night?
yeah.
I was like this, and I was up like this,
So,
and they threw this needle in.
one of the
dropped
reasons
myself.
why this works well is because it's a multi-level threat attack to the person. Also, where are you located? You're behind their back. You've got their arms separated. You've got their neck at your disposal. And you've got their arm trapped at your legs. You've got the other wrist and arm trapped, whether your hand's behind your head to hold it or you're holding their wrist. And you can freely attack their neck. This removes the other person's ability to use pressure, to wiggle out a lot of times, and it also neutralizes a lot of their strength. They still can be strong. This is a strong movement for some people, right? That's why I always encourage you to attack that neck. Because anytime you attack the neck, I would say in this scenario, if you can finish with the choke, finish with the choke. Is the easiest and the most high percentage. As you're finishing with the choke, they're thinking, oh my God, the choke. This arm that you're holding is probably gonna be the one they're gonna try to get free. If they get it free, hold back your head as you're extending that arm. So you have trapped arm, can't get it out. I'm currently being choked, what do? And my arm's being armbarred, right? So if a person has any amount of anxiety or any amount of panic, they're on high alert right now. They're trying to figure out a way out of this, right? But like I said, it's attacking them from behind and it neutralizes a lot of their strengths, a lot of their abilities. Is there a way out of this? Yes. So as we go, just be aware that some people will scoot away and get away. CJ was good. I wanted to demonstrate his movements. CJ's very dynamic in his movements. He's gonna fight, he's gonna move. But notice one thing when we were doing it and demonstrating, CJ's reaction. When it got close, what did he do? He reacted. He would bridge to take pressure off. He would move a certain way. Let these be your cues. We're getting there, right? We're getting there. So let's think about that. I'm close here. Does that mean I want the armbar? Well, if I want that armbar, I'm getting close. But he's moving, so how do I adjust to finish? You get to the point where he's just so flexible, he's getting out, he's making advances, and you're thinking, I'm losing this. Don't hold on to that position. Go for that choke. And if you're losing everything, end up on top as best you can. Okay? Try to at least. All right? Any questions? All right, on three, let's bow out and get to work.